Once Upon an Hour by Kyung, Choi, and Kim. Time for bed, says Mother. Yuri looked at the clock. Although she could count sheep, the hands and the numbers on the clock face puzzled her. How do you know? She asked. Mother thought for a minute. When I was your age, I had trouble telling time too. Your great-grandmother, my Harmony, told me a story about a special group of animals and a compassionate mountain that used the sun and moon to tell time. Maybe that story would help you too. As the mist rose with the morning sun, a child struggled up a steep trail in the search for a duraji, a plant that grew deep in the mountains. The child's mother was ill, and the root of this plant could be brewed to make a special healing tea. Mountain, who was wise and kind, took pity on the child and asked the animals of the morning to help the child find the doraji plant. The animals shook their heads. They had other things to do. When the sun rises, it's time for me to chase the moon away. Rabbit disappeared into the dawn. When the sun peeks over the eastern horizon, it's time for me to greet its warmth. Dragon flew off into the clouds. When the sun climbs the morning sky, I need to bask in its bright rays. Snake rested on a rock to daydream. Hopeful Mountain turned to the animals of the afternoon to help. The animals ignored the child, who on tiptoes plucked some berries to eat before climbing higher. When the sun shines high above the birds, it's time for me to exercise my legs. Horse trotted down a worn path. When the afternoon sun starts to tilt, it's time for me to graze. Sheep nibbled on red clover and sweet grass. When the clouds cloak treetops, it's time for me to find my supper. Monkey leaped from branch to branch, plucking persimmons. The child yawned, took a short nap, and climbed higher still. Saddened, Mountain asked the animals of the evening for help. The animals sighed. When the sun moves west and the shadows grow long, it's time for me to nest. Chicken pecked at the soil around her. When the sun has gone down and the skies are purple, it's time for me to stand guard. Dog sniffs the air. When moonlight sparkles over waterfalls, it's time for me to dream. Pig yawned and went on back to sleep. In the fading light, the child stumbled and fell down. Concerned, Mountain, who could do nothing, turned to the animals of the night for help. The animals darted away. When the sky brightens with starlight, it's time for me to hunt. Mouse hummed with a tune and searched for food. When the river shimmers with moonbeams, it's time for me to close my eyes. Cow sank into a deep sleep. When the moon gets ready to slumber, it's time for me to stretch my muscles. Tiger pounced in pursuit of a shooting star. As the cow snored gently, the child sat up and began to sing a sweet, sad song. I walk over the path when the doraji flowers bloom. Mountain's heart also ached with sadness. Tears flowed and turned to snow. The cold tickled Rabbit's ears. Rabbit looked up and saw the distressed child. As the sun rose in the east, Rabbit's thumping feet brought the animals of the morning into action. We can help, they said. Rabbit collected wood for a fire. Dragon found the very best doraji as Snake scooped them into a sack. The child's sweet song wove through the sun's midday rays. The animals of the afternoon heard it as news of the child's troubles traveled. We can help, they said. Horse carried the sack of doraji. Sheep made a warm blanket out of wool. Monkey picked the ripest persimmons to feed the child. The song floated in and around the clouds as the dimming sunlight turned to 12. The animals of evening heard it next. We can help, they said. Chicken laid an egg for the child and cooked it over a fire. Dog watched over a child as the shadows grew long. Pig told magical tales of flying pigs found only in dreams. As the moonlight became starlight, the animals of the night heard the song. We can help, they said. Mouse sang a lullaby. Cow carried the sleeping child on her back. Tiger protected them during the long journey until the child was safely home, and Mother was able to drink her special tea. At last, Mountain was pleased. In appreciation of their fine efforts, Mountain offered the animals the gift of time, divided into hours in which they each helped the child in need. I'll bet the animals can tell me time, said Yuri, and she drew a large circle on a piece of paper, and carefully she divided the clock into sections, and she drew each animal until her clock was complete. It's the hour of the dog, said Mother, tucking Yuri into bed. Bedtime, said Yuri as she drifted off into a dream of a wise mountain and its kind-hearted animals. The end.